The 138th running of the Derby takes place this weekend. 20 horses will vie for the $2 million purse. Team Valor International captured an upset win last year with Animal Kingdom. CEO Barry Irwin has 40 years of experience in the business, and I caught up with him last week at Churchill Downs in Kentucky. I spoke with him about the business of investing in horses.
The parent company is owned strictly by me. I own 100% of the stock. In terms of the actual investors, for some reason, we have the same number of people that we've had for 20 of the 26 years. We have approximately 250 people that invest. There's about 60 of them that invest substantially every year. And there's probably another 100 that'll buy a couple of horses, and then another 100 that'll buy maybe one horse every year or two.
When you say substantially invest, could I be an investor for $1,000?
Not quite.
All right, I got to keep going, right? Add another zero?
Right. We used to have a $10,000 minimum, but there's, you know, we have, it's like a car dealership almost. We have Mercedes, we have Lexus. Lately, we've wound up selling a lot of Kias.
Okay.
You know? So we do smaller horses as well as more expensive horses.
How much would the average person have to put in?
I'd say it's about $5,000 would be our lowest. The average guy, first-time buyers, put up about $7,500 to, say, $12,500. Each syndicate usually has 15 to 17 people. Animal Kingdom last year, there were 20 partners and went the day well. This year we have 10 partners.
So, for example, for somebody who's just interested in the sport and wants to see what it feels like, he or she can put in a certain amount of money and, as you say, have a horse that may not win the Kentucky Derby, but will give that person exposure to the business and exposure to the pleasure of being part of it.
Yeah, truth be told, there were a couple of guys that got in Animal Kingdom, our horse that won the Derby last year, and they wrote a check for $5,000.
So that's a pretty good return.
That was great. Yeah, that was great.
How much did Animal Kingdom win last year here, the Kentucky Derby? What was his prize money?
$1.2 million.
And then what does that mean for the partners? How does it break down? Obviously, it matters how much each person put in.
Yeah, everything's done on a pro rata basis. But basically, if the purse is $2 million, the winner gets 60%. That's $1.2 million. And of that, you can deduct approximately 25%. The trainer gets 10, his barn gets 3 or 4%. The jockey gets 10%. So it goes down to about $900,000 that's then distributed on a pro rata basis to each of the partners.
Would you say this is a good way to make money, though, investing in racehorses?
No. I hate to even hear people characterize it as an investment. It's a total indulgence.
How many guys have made money?
We did a study and analysis a few years ago, and any of our partners that had bought as many as 24 individual interests in horses, they all made out financially. They made a profit. That isn't to say that if you didn't buy 24, you wouldn't make money, but it's a numbers game. I try my hardest. I try to get as much quality into each offering as we can. But in real life, it's a numbers game, and the more shots you take, the better chance you have.
How many people are on the staff of a horse, such as Animal Kingdom or Wednesday? I mean, there's vets, there's trainers, there's groomsmen. How much does the upkeep of a horse cost?
It costs approximately $60,000 to have a horse in training a year. So let's say that you decided you wanted to buy 10%. So let's say the horse was $1 million horse. You write a check for $100,000, and that's your investment in the horse. Then during the course of that year, you're going to probably spend another $6,000. And what we do is we invoice people for training every other month. And then as purse money is earned, we distribute that within a week of the race.
What does it mean business-wise to have a horse win the Kentucky Derby as you had last year?
Well, it substantially increases and enhances the investment in the horse. That particular horse was bred by one of my partnerships. We then put him in a sale. I bought him for $100,000 and formed a new syndicate to race him. So those people had about $100,000 in him to begin with. He's earned almost $2 million, probably a net of $1.5 million. And then on top of that, his breeding rights are worth perhaps another $5.5 or $6 million.
Is that where stables, not necessarily Team Valor, but is that where a lot of people hope to make the most money is from the breeding rights.
That's the dream. That's what's called hitting the home run. If you hit the home run, you're going to cash out at a substantial figure down the road.
Have you seen a large effect on the industry post-financial crisis, post-2008? Have you seen fewer people interested in the sport because of its cost, or is there no change?
There's two kinds of markets. There's the public market, which is at auction. That has actually come out of the doldrums since 2008, and all the numbers are going up. It's green, not red. In the private market, one would think that it would be depressed, but it's more bullish than ever.